So let's get started and let's see how we can do it. So first of all, open your favorite browser and search for MySQL. And the first link which will appear here will be from mysql.com. So we are going to click on this link. And then in here, you just need to click on the Downloads tab and then scroll down a little. And here at the very bottom, you will see this option which says MySQL Community Download. So we are going to click on this link. So at this point, I'm going to choose this option which says MySQL Community Server. And I'm going to click on this link. And then you can see the latest version here available. And then there are few options to choose with. So I generally go with this MSI installer option. So I'm going to click the download button in front of it. And then the Oracle is going to ask you to create the account or log in with your Oracle account. So if you don't want to do it, you can also select this option which says, no thanks, just start my download, which is going to start your download. So at this point, I will just wait for this download to finish. And once this download is finished, I'm going to click on this MSI file, which is going to start the installation process. So at this point, I can see this message which says this application requires the latest version of Visual Studio 2019 X64 redistributable. Please install it and then start this installation again. So I'm going to click on OK and then click on Finish. And then I'm going to go to my browser and search for Visual Studio 2019 or whatever version the MySQL installation is complaining about. In my case, it's complaining about 2019 X64 redistributable, right? So I'm going to just write Visual Studio 2019 X64 redistributable download, and then I'm going to click on the first link here. And when I scroll down a little, here I can see the different versions. So, for example, 2005 till 2015. And then in my case, I have to choose this option because it was complaining about 2019 and it falls in between this period, right? So I'm going to click on latest supported redistributable version, and then I can see three links here. So as we have seen that in my case, it was complaining about X64, right? So I'm going to click on this. In your case, if it's complaining about the other versions, then you can click on the other links. So let me click on x64.exe file, which is going to download this file, and let's run this file now. And then I'm going to click on I accept and then click on install and then just click on yes here, which is going to install this redistributable file. And then once this installation for this redistributable is finished, it's going to ask you to restart your Windows operating system. So for now, I'm just going to close this and I'm going to restart my computer later. But let me try to install this MySQL server once again after the installation of those Visual Studio redistributable file, right? So I'm going to go to the download section and then I'm going to run this MySQL community server MSI file once again. And this time it starts the installation wizard, right? So at this point, I'm going to click on next here and then agree with the license terms and conditions. So click on this checkbox and then click on next. And then from here, you will be asked if you want to go with the typical, custom, or complete installation. I generally go with the complete installation, so I'm going to choose this complete installation option and then click on install, which is going to start the installation process. So if in between your Windows gives some kind of account warning, just click on yes on those warnings, and then the installation of this MySQL server is going to start. So at this point, I just need to wait for few seconds until this progress bar reaches to the 100% mark. And once the installation is finished, we can see this message which says completed the MySQL server setup. Also, it says run the MySQL configurator. So I'm going to leave this checkbox as checked and click on finish, which is going to start the MySQL configurator for us. So here I can see this MySQL server configurator. So at this point, click on next here, and then this will be the location where MySQL server will be installed. So if you don't have the good reason to change this location, leave it as default and then click on next. And then at this point, this is the type and networking. So you will see the default port for MySQL is 3306. So I'm going to leave all these things as default and then click on next. And then you need to choose the root password. So choose the root password which you can remember. I'm going to just use the very simple root password, which is root itself, right? ROOT in my case. But in your case, you might want to choose the strong password here. Once you have given the MySQL root password and repeated your password, click on next here. And at this point, Windows Services option will be shown. So I'm going to leave everything as default, where it says configure MySQL Server as a Windows service. So this installer is going to configure MySQL Server as the Windows service, and then it's going to start the MySQL at the system startup. So I agree with both of these options, and then I'm going to click on the next button. Here, server file permissions, I'm going to grant all accesses here. So I will leave it as default and then click on next. And then you have the sample database. So if you want to create those databases, you can check on those options. So let's create this sample database for world database, right? So I'm going to check this checkbox. You can choose both of them also, but for now I'm going to just select one of them and then click on next. And then it's going to show all the configurations. At this point it says click execute to apply the changes, so I'm going to click on execute here, which is going to apply the changes. And once you see all these green check marks here, click on next and then click on finish option, which is going to start your MySQL server, right? Now, at this point, the MySQL server is already installed, but we need some kind of client to interact with our MySQL database. So, for that, we are going to install the MySQL Workbench. So, for that, go to your favorite browser and search for MySQL, and the first link which will appear here will be from mysql.com. So, we are going to click on this link and then click on download, and then at the very bottom click on MySQL community downloads, and then we are going to choose this option which says MySQL Workbench, and then we just need to click on this download button here and then click on no thanks, just start the download. And then at this point we just need to wait for this download to finish. And once this MySQL Workbench community MSI file is downloaded, I'm going to click on this MSI file and let me just minimize the browser. And the installation wizard for MySQL Workbench has been started. So click on next here. And this is the default location. So just leave it as default and then click on next. And we are going to go with the complete setup. So just leave it as default, which is complete, and then click on next. And then click on install, which is going to start the installation of MySQL Workbench. So now after a few seconds, I can see this message which says wizard completed. Setup has been finished installing MySQL Workbench. And we can also see this checkbox here, which is going to launch the MySQL Workbench once we click on the finish button. So just leave it as checked and click on finish button, which is going to launch MySQL Workbench. So you can see the MySQL Workbench has been launched here, and it looks something like this. And also when I go to the apps section, so when I click on this Windows icon here and then click on all here, and when I go under M, I will be able to see MySQL folder here, and under MySQL I can see MySQL command line client, MySQL command line client Unicode and MySQL Workbench, right? So if I click on MySQL command line client, it's going to open this kind of command line tool. And when I give my password, which I have set at the time of installation, it's going to log in to my MySQL server. So I selected a very simple password, which was root. So let me provide that and then press enter. And now we are in the MySQL shell. So using this MySQL client, we can interact with our MySQL server. So here when I write show databases and then give semicolon here and then press enter, it's going to show all the default databases here, right? So you can run your queries into this MySQL command line tool and it's going to work fine. But we have also installed this MySQL Workbench. So here we can create a new connection. So the default connection is already given here, which is for local instance for MySQL. So we are going to click on this link here. And once again, here you need to provide your root password, which we have given at the time of installation of MySQL. So you just need to provide that password. And then I'm going to click on save password in Vault also. So next time I don't need to give this password. So I'm going to click on OK here, which is going to give me this kind of warning, which says connection warning, local instance, this incompatible server version. I'm going to click on continue anyway, and it's going to connect to my server. So now I'm connected to my local MySQL server using this MySQL Workbench. Now here you can see the administration tab and the schema tab, right? So this administration tab is going to show you the server status or client connections and other things which are related to administration of your MySQL server. When you click on the schemas tab, you will see the schemas, which means the databases you have on your MySQL. So I have this world database, right? And then inside this world database, I have this tables section, and inside tables, I have three tables. So if I want to see any table rows, then I can right click on that table and then I can click on select rows, limit 1000, and I can see the content of those tables. And I can also see the query here, right? So for executing this query, I just need to click on this button, which is going to once again execute that query. And you can see the output of that query in the output section here, right? So both the queries were successful. So we can see those green buttons here. So you just need to remember in the schema section, you will see the schemas, and in the administration section, you will see the administration related stuff. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video.